Hey, what's going on, everyone? Listen, I had a guy call me about 15 months ago. He saw there was a video of one of the speeches I'd give, or an interview I'd given, and I had said that if you're a veteran, I can show you how to get into a house, no money down, and not have a mortgage payment. And so he called me up. He said, I'm calling you bluff. I'm a veteran. I'm moving here to Pensacola. How can I get a house, no money down, and not have a mortgage payment? I said, well, if you're willing to accept this challenge, I just want you to understand it comes with a stipulation that over the next 15 months, after you close on this property that you're not going to have a mortgage payment, you're going to be getting basic allowance for housing, BAH. That must go into a separate account, period. You're not allowed to touch it. He said, done. So he agreed to it. I went, okay, no problem. Here we go. 16 months ago. It must have been 15 because that's when he called me. Yeah, it had to be because that's what he's doing right now. He got approved for a VA loan. So we got his approval for a VA loan. We looked at some nicer houses because I wanted to show him something. Then we wound up going and looking at 2 triplexes. The triplexes were not as nice because they were the same price point as a single-family residence. So it wasn't as nice. And I looked at him and I said, that's part of this deal. He's a single guy, so wasn't worried about a family at that particular point. All the units were 2 bedrooms, 1 bath in this triplex. 2 of the units were rented, 1 was vacant. For those of you who do not know, you can use all the way up to a 4-plex and use your VA loan. So we just happened to find a triplex. But the 2 rents that he was collecting from the other 2 units would cover his mortgage payment. Which meant now he gets to live in a unit and his other tenants basically pay his mortgage for him. Hence, VA, veterans loan, no money down. No mortgage because the tenants are paying the mortgage for him. Yeah, they're doing all kinds of construction. So the tenants are making that mortgage payment for him. Now, it's 15 months later. First of all, that first month that he was living there, he took all of the rent and put it in that special account. Because if you remember, you pretty much skip a month when you first buy a house. So he put it all in that special account. And he set up an allotment. And he followed through on his promise that he would put all that money aside. He called me up today, said, hey, so it's 15 months later, now what do we do? He has enough for a down payment for another single-family resident. But here's the big kicker, and this is what I try to explain to people a lot. The new lending laws that came out of the crash said that you cannot count the rent towards your income when you're talking about your debt-to-income ratio unless you've showed rental history on your tax returns. This guy got to use a VA loan, now shows rental history on his tax returns. So now, when he looks at this new investment property that we're going to go look at this weekend, I can count the rental income for him too. This is a guy who's building wealth first. He's passing on the nicer properties for now and focusing mainly on cash flow. All while still serving us here in the United States Navy. Think about it.
I'm a man on a mission.
My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and
Don't need no permission.
I want to help you get to actual truth.
On a mission.
Don't you just want the truth?